Hi, and welcome to Perpetual Fitness Training. My name is Holly. Thank you for joining me for this yoga session today. I have a great yoga session for you. We're going to focus on the hips, the groin, and the inner thigh. Our pose today is going to be frog pose. So we're going to slowly float into a frog pose position and then come on out of it and do our shavasana. This is wonderful for anyone who is having pain through their hips, maybe wants to strengthen their low back, just overall relaxing. So it is lunar yoga, so there will be no sun salutations. It's going to be all done on the floor in a very confined space. So this is great if you're don't have a lot of space, or you're in a hotel room or anything like that. Please make sure you're playing that music so you get the full benefit of that yoga, maybe even a little aromatherapy if you have that opportunity. Let's go ahead and begin. All right, let's go ahead and begin in a seated, cross-legged position. Up nice and tall, roll those shoulders up, back, down. You're lifting the heart, space between the chin and chest. I want you to close the eyes. Wrists come to the knees. Let those wrists just relax down. Your first finger and thumb can be touching. You can have those palms up or down. Lifting through the heart, space between your chin and chest. I want you to focus on your breath. Pulling air in through the nose, slowly exhaling through the nose. In the beginning, we're just being aware of the breath, feeling it move in and slowly back out. I want you to feel that breath go deeper. Really pull the air to the bottom of the lung and really focus on pushing the air out from the very bottom of the lung. Bring in clean, fresh air and expel that older air sitting at the bottom. Now we're just going to give those lungs a little spring cleaning. I want you to breathe even deeper. Pull the air to the belly. Use the belly to push the air out and the diaphragm. Push it all out. Again, big, deep inhale. Sitting tall, big exhale. Relaxing those shoulders one more time. Big inhale. Big exhale. And I want you to go back to just being aware of that breath. Feel it moving in through the nose, using the diaphragm to exhale through the nose. And as you exhale, think about relaxing your body. Starting with the head, you're relaxing the muscles in the face, the forehead, the eyes, the jaw. Relax the muscles in the neck. Feel those shoulders relax. Relaxing any tension from the spine. Relax any tension through the hips, the thighs, and the knees. Just let it all go. As we take this nice big inhale, we're going to fill up those lungs, and on the exhale, we're going to bring that chest and start to move it toward the floor, pushing your sits bones down. Go until you feel the initial pull. I want you to hold. If that initial pull is all the way to the ground, you're just going to reach those hands out. Let that head drop, not holding any tension in the body. Shoulder blades are relaxed, and you are leading with the heart, keeping that back flat. If your hands are extended out, go ahead and bring them back to the knees, coming up just slightly. Now I want you to move side to side. As you move to the right, you're pushing that left hip away. As you move to the left, you're pressing the right hip away. So you're getting this long stretch in the low back. Should feel good. Move within your range of motion, keeping your focus on your breath. Now we're going to take it over to the right side, and we're going to hold it on the right side, pressing that left hip away. If you can, you're going to walk those hands out, making sure the hands are reaching for the same place on the floor.
Exhale and slowly bring it down. If you'd like to, you can crawl those hands a little more forward as you push that left hip away. Shoulders relax, and we're holding here. Breathe. Relax the muscles around the eyes. And go ahead and inhale. We're going to come up back to the fingertips. Slowly walking it to the other side. Again, reaching those hands out. Shoulders drop. Drop the chest. Press that right hip away. And walk the fingertips out a little bit more if you can. Keeping the shoulders down. Let the head drop. Taking nice big breaths, really think about filling up the lungs. More breath. And release, coming to the center. Again, reaching out as far as you can. This time you can let your back round, let the head drop, and just hold. Pushing those sits bones toward the floor. Now keeping that tummy tight, let's go ahead and just gently walk up, coming all the way up into a seated position. We're going to take the soles of the feet together for butterfly. So release those feet, soles of the feet together, pull it in, coming into butterfly. Dropping the knees, not rounding the back. I want you to sit up nice and tall, shoulders drop. Use those hands to help pull your chest closer toward those feet, dropping those knees open and hold. Breathe. Make sure you're always feeling a gentle pull, never pain, but always feeling that sensation. If it ever releases, you just drop a little deeper. And let's go ahead and come on up. We're going to go back into that seated position, but this time I want the other foot to lead. So if you need to, do it unconsciously. That's probably how you did it the first time. Switch that leg in front. Hands to the shins, flat back, come down as low as you can, and then go ahead and round and hold here. If it's more comfortable, feel free to have a block underneath the head to really be able to relax through that neck. And tummy tight and gently coming up. All right, from here, we're going to move right into a half deer. So we're going to take that right foot forward parallel to the front of the mat. Take the weight to the right. Let's go ahead and bring this left leg back. And the knee comes directly out of the hip. And then the ankle comes directly in line with the knee. So you have a 90-degree angle at that knee. This front leg just stays parallel. You're going to then walk those hands forward, coming over that front leg, letting that head drop. Again, you can have a block or something. You can also, if you don't have a block, you can stack those hands. And I want you to hold it here. Staying relaxed through the feet, through the hips. You're not holding any tension through those hips. Releasing the abs, releasing the shoulders. Just breathe. And then tummy tighten, you're gonna slowly come on up. And we're gonna switch the leg that's in front. So I like to bring that back leg up front first and then adjust. So that front foot parallel to the front of your mat, taking the weight to the left. Let's bring that right knee directly out of the hip, flexing the foot, bringing the ankle directly in line with the knee. Moving forward, coming over that leg, head to the block, to the floor, or you can stack those fists and just hold here. Breathing through, shoulders relaxed. One more deep inhale. And then on the exhale, I want you to gently come on up. Let's go ahead and bring those legs forward. All right, we're gonna move into a cow face pose. So let's go ahead and first start just by bringing those legs out straight. We're just gonna give them a little break from being in that bent position. So coming into staff, bringing the chest toward those thighs. You can use a strap if you need to. Grabbing a hold of those toes is fine, but not a requirement. If you can't reach the toes, you can grab a hold of those ankles and pull in. If you can easily reach your toes, you can place a block at the end of your feet to help give you something to pull against so that you can get deeper. Make sure you're feeling that stretch in the hamstrings, the back of the legs. Shoulders down, tummy tight. You can kind of wiggle a little deeper into the position if that works for you. Hold and breathe, 5 breaths. And tummy tight, gently come on up around the spine as you sit up. We're moving into cow face pose. Cow face pose can pose a problem for anybody with extremely tight hips if your hips are really tight. So you can go back to that beginning pose we did here, if that works for you. You can also come into some modified version of the fire log pose, if that works better for you as well. This one gets nice and deep into the hip. So to do cow face pose, we're gonna go ahead and take the left knee, and I'm gonna have that knee, again, come directly out of my hip, pointing forward, so pointing toward the camera. And then you're gonna go ahead and stack that other leg on top. This is the part that gives people a lot of problem. So as best you can, bringing that knee to stack over the other. If you can see, I'm slightly off center from mine. These hips are just a little tight today. I did a lot of legs yesterday, so it's not surprising. I'm still comfortable in this position. I want to make sure that you're not listing to one side. You'll kind of have the tendency to list to the left. Make sure that you're staying in the center. That's where you get that full benefit. If anything, maybe even moving a little to the right. You can use a block underneath that foot to help elevate, or just bring it across as far as you can. As long as you're feeling the stretch through the hip, then you have that right spot. So finding your position, I like to place my hands on my feet just so I can help kind of pull that leg back. Find those sits bones, get nice and centered, big inhale. If this is enough, stay here, close your eyes and breathe. If you want to go deeper, you start to drape that upper body over those legs and just hold at your pull, keeping that tummy tight for support, the back nice and flat, shoulders relaxed. Let's go ahead and start that breath. 5 breath, nice 5 breath hold. One more inhale. On the exhale, gently rise up. Let's go ahead and switch legs. You can take it out, give it a little shake, and then let's go ahead and begin. So now it's going to be right, knee comes straight out of the hip, knee points forward, stacking the left. And don't be surprised if one is tighter than the other or more loose than the other. So this one, believe it or not, is even tighter than my other one. Bring that foot in as much as you can. Remember, any pain is a sign to stop. So when I grabbed this foot, I got a little shoot of pain that went up my leg. So I'm not going to grab my foot. I'm going to leave it exactly where it is. My body's telling me that's enough. Big inhale, up tall, find those sits bones. Exhale, lean over those legs. Find your pull and hold. You can adjust this front leg as you need to. Just breathe. Remember, it's not about getting into that perfect yoga pose. Your perfect yoga pose is where you feel the stretch. So we're focusing on those hips. That's where we want to feel it. It does hit you along this side as well. So if that muscle is tight, you'll feel it there as well. Just make sure you're feeling it through those hips. Shoulders relax. Take a nice big inhale. Exhale and gently come up. All right, let's go ahead and undo those legs. We're going to give them a little break. So take it out straight, another little shaky, shaky. All right, I want you to open up those legs and we're going to go ahead and bring that left foot into that right thigh. You're going to turn and take your chest so that it's pointing toward those toes, pressing this left knee open. So you don't want it to come up here. Just let it be open. Let it drop. Gravity's just doing its thing. Facing that foot, hand on either side, or a great place for a yoga strap. I want you to slowly walk it down, bringing it until you feel the pull. Shoulders relax, and I want you to hold here. You can use that leg to give yourself a little more pull if you would like. Again, I don't want one hand reaching for the toes. It's not about touching the toes. If you want to touch the toes, it should be both hands that can reach, because I want this stretch down your back as well. So both hands are reaching for the same place. Relax your shoulders and breathe. Keeping that foot flexed, tightening up through that knee will give you a better stretch. Breathing as deep as you can will help to stretch out that back. Push that chest out. One more set of breath. So on your next inhale, you're going to gently rise up. And we're going to move to that other side. Extending that leg, bringing it in, facing those toes, letting this right knee just have its way with gravity. Shoulders relax. Press your chest toward the thigh. Walk those hands out. Grabbing the leg, maybe even the toes using a strap, but hands in the same place. Shoulders relax, holding for 5 breaths. Always feeling that pull. Flex your foot, tighten through that knee. Sink a little deeper if that muscle starts to release. Pushing that chest out. One more set of breath. And let's go ahead and gently come on up. Right now we're going to take it into a seated straddle. So a full straddle, both legs out. This is not the easiest pose for me. I can't get very deep. You know, there are those people that can take their legs out to either side and just completely lay flat. Yeah, that's not me. It's not how God made me, so that's okay. Hands forward. So normally I can be quite open for me in this one. But again, I worked those hips yesterday and they are talking to me. So I'm going to actually decrease my angle a little bit because my hip was talking to me. So listen to your body, make modifications if you need to. Up nice and tall, shoulders relaxed, start to walk those hands out. I want that back to stay flat. Don't reach, right? It's not about reach. We're not going to round and reach. What's important is that we're feeling the stretch. So bring the chest down. When you feel that stretch, I want you to hold. You are welcome to grab a hold of those legs and pull a little deeper. Or again, you can use straps and pull yourself as well. Shoulders relax. Tummy is tight. Make sure you're feeling that pull. If it starts to release, walk a little deeper, chest out. One more set of breath. And on your inhale, slowly come up. All right, we're going to move into a kneeling position, coming into a lizard lunge. So, taking it up. Let's go ahead and take that right foot forward, coming toward the front of the mat. You're going to walk this left leg back. Now we are going to be in this position for a little bit, so if you need extra padding underneath the knee, you can go ahead and grab it or double up that mat. Now all you're going to do is sink down, taking both hands to the inside. You can use a block with those hands, for those hands to be on if you can't make it all the way to the floor. If the block is too deep, you can also come up to the thigh. And what you're focusing on is dropping those hips down. I almost fell. Dropping those hips down, keeping those shoulders relaxed. Tummy's nice and tight. Just let those hips go, keeping the right knee into the right shoulder. Now we're going to go ahead and roll the toe open. So you're rolling the foot open. So you're going to roll that foot coming onto the pinky toe and see if you can drop those hips a little bit more. You're going to feel this more to the outer part of the thigh, maybe even across that knee. Hold here. Now you can stay right here. If you want to go a little deeper, we're going to come down onto that left forearm, the elbow right underneath the shoulder. And we're just going to rotate. We're going to take the hand to the hip and we're just going to look to that right side, shoulders down. Press those hips toward the floor. One more breath. Hands down, bringing it back to the hands, bringing that knee up, and then dragging that right foot back, all the way back. Whew. All right, let's go ahead and switch sides. So now we're going to take that left foot forward, all the way to the top of the mat. Walking that right leg back as far as it will go, so that when you sink those hips, the knee and ankle are stacked and you're feeling that right hip flexor. Drop, both hands to the inside, hold. A couple breaths here. And remember, you can stop at any point along this journey. If this is enough for you, you're really feeling it, it's a real struggle, then just go ahead and stay right here. If not, then you can follow me, getting a little deeper into the stretch. All right, so if you'd like to, roll onto that baby toe. Press the hips toward the floor, shoulders relaxed. Tummy's nice and tight right here. Couple breaths. Coming down onto that right elbow in line with the shoulder, left hand to the hip, drop the hip, see if you can open up, shoulders relaxed, hold, there's a bit of balance here, just breathe, staying relaxed, face is relaxed. Come back, hands down first, support yourself, then bring the foot up, and drag it back, all the way back. All right, moving on to I really like this one. Frog can be a little intense. So this is half frog. So you're going to come all the way down onto your belly, and it's really Sphinx pose. So your shoulders are down and back, your elbows are right underneath the shoulders, and you're just lifted up into this position right here. This is called Sphinx, palms are flat. We're going to go ahead and take the left leg to the side, and you're bringing the knee up as high as you can. Flex that foot. Oh, that was a total cramp. Ooh, flex that foot, and keep this knee directly out of the hip, and again, the ankle in line with the knee. So you have that 90-degree angle. You can bring that knee up as high as it will come. I want you to think about pushing the hips into the mat and just holding here. Now, if you're open today, this will feel pretty good. If you're a bit tight today, this might be a little intense. This is the modification for frog pose. So when we move into frog, if it's too much for you, then you can come back to this pose right here. You can take it all the way down if you're really feeling comfortable. But I find I have a better stretch staying up in Sphinx. All right, let's go ahead and gently release that. Let's go ahead and move to the other side. So find your Sphinx first. Then let's go ahead and take that right knee out from the hip, foot in line with that knee, press and hold. So this one is a lot different feeling than that last one. Try not to tighten up through the shoulders if you're really feeling it. Just breathe. And release. We're going to take hands on either side. Tummy's nice and tight. We're going to push back into child's pose. Take those heels as far back as they'll go. If you're really tight through the knee, placing a block in between your calf and your thigh will feel really good. Help you to get into the pose, but release through the knee. Relax those shoulders down. You can take those hands back to the arches to really help you release through those shoulders. Stay here for just a moment. And inhale, and go ahead and come all the way up. All right, moving into frog. You want to move sideways on your mat because you're going to use the length of your mat. So I'm going to turn and face you. I'm going to walk a little forward just because you want the inner bones of that ankle to be on the mat. When they're on the floor, it can be very uncomfortable. So either place a blanket behind you or move forward. You can place a blanket under your arms if that's a problem. So you're going to start in tabletop, and all you're going to do is take big steps with the knees as far as your body will let you go. Then you're going to take the feet, if you can, and you're going to point them out to the side. But if that's too much for your ankle, then you can just release the foot and take the toes more behind you, whichever works for you. If this is enough, if you're feeling it and you're dying, I want you to stay right here. If you can, you're going to move down onto the forearms. If this is enough, stay here. The next step is to push your hips back towards your heels, and you're going to really feel that groin and inner thigh light up. Find your positioning, readjust those knees if you need to, and now we're going to hold and breathe. Really focus on staying relaxed through the shoulders and not holding tension through the hips, through that groin. It's going to kind of be your go-to. Your body's going to want to tighten that muscle. And I want you to focus your exhale wherever you're really feeling this intensity and try to keep that muscle relaxed. Let's start our 5 breaths. tummy tightens. From here, you move up to those hands. All right, this can be intense. So again, listen to your body, take your time. You're gonna bring the one knee toward the other. So pressing off with the foot, bring it in, whew, and then drag that other one in. I like to turn toward the front of my mat and just give it a little, counter stretch, nice and straight. All right, you're gonna take those big toes together, knees wide. We're gonna sit back in extended child's and just release through that hip, let the head drop. And then inhale, gently come on up. Let's go ahead and take it onto our backs, facing up, moving into happy baby. So feet flexed toward the ceiling, knees are bent, reaching to the center, grab those arches, big inhale, exhale, push on the arches so the knees go to the outside of the body. Heels together will make this less intense, heels away more intense, keeping that tummy tight. Think about relaxing through that tailbone. Breathe. Now you can always hold frog longer if you would like. You start with that 30-second hold and work your way up. The longer you hold it, the more that body opens up. But do be aware of that rebound that you feel when you come out of it. It can be quite intense. And let's go ahead and bring it in. I want you to bring both knees into chest, give them a little hug. You can take your head up if you would like. Just hold. And release feet to the floor. Walk those feet out. Let's go ahead and come into Shavasana. You can stay in the Shavasana position as long as you have time for. Use those heels, walk that spine nice and straight. Open up through the hips. Hands on either side of the body with the fingers curled in. Your palms can be facing the ceiling or toward the body, whatever works for you. If this is not a comfortable position, you can find any position that is comfortable for you. Maybe even rolling onto your side. You can also use blocks and bolsters. Shoulders relaxed. Take a nice big inhale, really fill up those lungs. Exhale, feel the body releasing into the mat. Again, deep inhale. On this exhale, you're letting all the stress go. Just release it, feeling it escape the body. Deep inhale. On this exhale, I want you to relax any tension through the face. Relax the muscles around the eye. Release the jaw. Just feel your body getting heavier and heavier, sinking deeper and deeper into some warm sand. Namaste.